Yeah, hi, Medard. This is Michael. I am the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons. And it looks like you have some information for me. You're one of my online students. And it says here, this is my question about my progress in the reading and listening sections. All right, let's hear what you have to say.
Good morning, Michael Bogoff. Thank you
morning.
again for your assistance on practice for a TOEFL exam. I would like to share with you the progress I've made on reading and listening practice.
Now, I also saw by email, if I remember correctly, you did send me an email, and I did see some of the subtotal scores that you're getting in the reading and listening sections of the TOEFL exam.
I've gone over all reading a passage on the Cambridge TOEFL book and listening questions, exercises. The book has a total of 7 practice tests. I completed all of them on practice modes, and I gathered the results on a table which I would like to send to you by email for your analysis and further advice.
Yeah, I did get that.
In addition to that, I've done also the practice tests in TOEFL, official TOEFL guides, which is another book I bought online, and I've completed 3 practice tests on reading and listening. I also put the results of these practice tests in the table. What I would like you to do for me is to go over the results and provide me further advice so that I can perform better on these sections.
Okay.
The problem I'm having now is my weakness is on a chart or summary question in reading, where the question worth 4 points or 2 points.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the summary, this is called completing charts or schematic tables.
Since I don't have time to go through the tests and have a deep understanding, I still have problem to answer this question correctly. So I want your advice on this.
Okay, so in terms of answering a summary question, Medard, if you go to my online course under the reading section, I think it's like reading lesson number 3 or 4, and I do go over how to answer the summary question. The main thing is you have to identify the thesis of the reading passage and then the most important supporting points of that reading passage. That means find the thesis near the beginning of the reading passage and then look at the topic sentences of the different paragraphs, and that typically will give you the main and the supporting points of the reading passage. Once you've identified those things, then when you go into the summary or you begin completing the chart or table, you keep those things in mind. So you're focusing more on the overall connection of the different ideas than you are just certain details within the passage itself. Now, just a minute, let me go to my email for a second. Let's see what you have to say. Yeah, I do remember getting an email from you.
Welcome. You've got mail.
Okay, where is it? Here. Yeah, I think I have it. So you say here, I've gone over the reading and listening practice test. I'd like to submit to your analysis the results I have. I did the test on practice mode, so I'd like you to check the result and advise me about these 2 sections. Here are my results of my practice test in reading and listening. Okay, this is good information. So if I'm looking at it correctly, okay, here we go. So the official guide to the TOEFL on the reading, you had 17 points, 16 points, and 23 points. Boy, that's a big turnaround. So you went from 23 out of 42 to 24 out of 45 to 34 out of 45, which puts you between 55 and 76%. So the third one that you took was much better than the others, right? And then Cambridge, you're getting into 17, 20, and 18 out of 30. You have 21 out of 30, 23 out of 30, 22 out of 30, 19 out of 30. So you're getting there. And then in the listening, it looks like you're starting out with okay, so wow, listening you had 34 out of 36. You had 23 out of 33. You had 22 out of 34. 27 out of 34, so you're in there. So it looks like you're making some progress here. I mean, I can't remember exactly what your goals are here, but I'm guessing you're probably looking to get around 25 points out of 30 on these. So the main thing, Medard, is this. Be careful you're not focusing too much on the practice test. Because if you focus too much on the practice test and not enough on just building your language or academic English language proficiency, you may not get the results that you seek. So in order to do really well on the reading and the listening sections of the exam, Medard, I mean, let's face it here, you really need to build your vocabulary. That's exactly why you've been studying the vocabulary words in my online course, specifically TOEFL vocabulary lesson number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So I think it's really, really important to build your vocabulary. Now, number 2, to help you in the reading area, to help you find those answers fast enough without running out of time, as you know, I encourage you to increase your reading speed. Most students who do this, they typically will score high on the reading section of the exam. So in the reading section of my online course, you want to work on improving your reading speed until it's about 300 words per minute or more. This is very important. And believe it or not, Medard, is faster readers have better comprehension than slower readers because they have fewer distractions. And that will help you get through those what we call summary questions where you're completing charts and tables. It'll be much easier for you to find that information. So keep the goal around 300 words per minute. I think that's realistic, and that's going to be very beneficial to you. And I think with the listening area, I think as you develop and continue to improve your vocabulary, I think your listening will continue to improve. And then remember, in the listening part of my course, I have a great lesson. I think it's listening lesson number 1. It'll give you a good strategy for your note-taking, because ultimately you really need to rely on your notes to help you answer the questions in the reading and the listening parts of the test. So, I mean, your results are looking promising. I mean, they're looking pretty good. Obviously, you want to keep practicing. You want to keep studying the language. And don't forget, with the reading, I actually have 5 specific recommendations that will really get you good results with your reading. Number 1 is to read every day for about 45 to 60 minutes. But don't read TOEFL books. You want to read magazines, newspapers, and longer books. Number 2, build your vocabulary like you're already doing. Number 3, increase your reading speed to at least 300 words per minute. Number 4, make sure you become familiar with the IBT reading test-taking strategies. Very important. Then the last thing, number 5, is to complete TOEFL level reading practice test, which is exactly what you're doing here. But remember, to make progress with number 5, you have to make sure that you're studying the vocabulary and you're reading extensively. Those things have to be done before you will really see really good results during the reading part of the test. And the same thing goes with the listening. You know, take time each day. Don't just do TOEFL level listening practice tests, though that's good and it's useful, but also give yourself time to study. You might watch TV, for example, and you might focus on news programs, history programs, documentary programs, maybe even science programs, so you can make progress in those areas. All right, Medard, anyway, thank you very much. It looks like you're working very hard. And in my opinion, I mean, if you want to get my honest opinion here, the improvements that you really need to make in order to function well professionally, academically, and personally in terms of using English is your speaking. Your speaking is not that good. I mean, that's where you really want to spend a lot of your time on reducing your accent, improving your tone, and trying to make clear connections among the ideas that you speak in your independent and your integrated speaking responses. All right, so that's one of the biggest weaknesses that I see right now is your actual, I think, your speaking skills. All right, anyway, have a great day, and I hope I've given you some useful information in the video. Hang in there, keep working hard, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.